When we look at the history of America, it is a series and a cycle of civil rights movement. We need an organization that is going to be there fighting the rising tide of Islamophobia in a systematic way.
We have a problem of Islamophobia nationwide, a problem that manifests itself in attacks on American mosques and Islamic institutions, in discrimination against Muslims in the workplace and schools, and in the creation of an increasingly hostile atmosphere in which Muslims will raise their families.
We have too many mosques in this country. There's too many people who are sympathetic to radical Islam. We should be looking at them more carefully.
Islam cannot be practiced in this country. You can't beat your wife. You cannot murder your children if you think they've committed adultery.
In this country, religion is not an object of suspicion. The only way we make sure that it remains that way is to push back against such things. So by pushing back against Islamophobia, we're pushing back against the same prejudice that has plagued our country and targeted other communities in the past.
We have put $10,000 reward for any information that will lead to the arrest and conviction of this individual.
Surveys show that almost half of American Muslims say they have experienced some kind of racial or religious discrimination. CAIR's recently released report on Islamophobia identifies 37 organizations dedicated to promoting anti-Islam prejudice in America and exposes the Islamophobia network and its funding. We also formed a new department to document and combat the manufactured hostility to Islam. Dozens of discriminatory and unconstitutional bills have been introduced in state legislatures nationwide, clearly and explicitly targeting Islamic principles. To protect Islamic institutions from the inevitable result of this hate campaign, CAIR distributed new safety guidelines to mosques and other institutions, and we do score victories in the struggle for public opinion. CAIR convinced the Associated Press, the world's leading news service, to discourage reporters from using biased terms like Islamist to describe ordinary Muslims. When Pamela Geller's hate campaign came to Washington, D.C. metro stations, CAIR countered with ads of its own, offering a verse of the Quran, promoting justice and peace.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. That can be applied in any religion or any culture.
To enhance understanding of Islam's holy text, CAIR is distributing tens of thousands of copies of the Quran to fellow Americans so they can read for themselves what it really says. And the feedback is phenomenal, again proving research results showing that when knowledge of Islam goes up, prejudice goes down.
At CAIR, we do not just complain about Islamophobia. We take action, and this action is first by researching this phenomenon, provide information to the public, to community leaders, agencies, coalition partners, because it led many times to the disengagement with these Islamophobes whose sole purpose is to smear the Muslim community and defame its image.
CAIR is assisting a number of Muslim citizens who are barred from their own country by being placed on the no-fly list while overseas. When individual Muslims are targeted by bias-motivated violence, CAIR defends their rights.
Every day, CAIR hears from American Muslims, often at low points in their life, when they've been fired from a job because of their faith, they've been detained at the border, stranded abroad because of a secret government watch list, and other issues that affect their lives.
Mohammed Salim is a Muslim. He's also a United States Army reservist who served in the war in Iraq. He says a man got in his cab last Friday, accused him of being a terrorist, threatened to kill him, then broke his jaw.
Whatever you're saying is recorded, and now you're punching me?
After incident happened, I contacted CAIR, and they came to assist me, and they helped me. The reason why I contacted CAIR, because the only group I can't trust them.
Steadfast that I stand up my rights, that CAIR helped me a lot, and I really appreciate what they did it for me, and without any hesitant, and they take my case to the upper level of the management, that they finally I won the case.
CAIR is your voice in the local, national, and international media.
He's the National Communications Director for the Council on American Islamic Relations. Ibrahim, thank you for coming in.
Joining us now is Mohammed Salim and his attorney Gadir Abbas.
Frustrating whenever somebody uses the freedom of speech that's guaranteed by the Constitution to promote hatred and bigotry.
United States Constitution and values. And I'm very humbled to see this show of solidarity with the American Muslim community.
You have to have an organization in place with individuals who are trained and capable to respond, and they have to be funded and supported before that event happens so that we can be response able. That is the work that we are doing, to make CAIR able to respond on the instant when you call or send an email or get a letter that frightens you, to know that CAIR is going to be ready, willing, and able to respond.
We have also taken up issues impacting all Americans, including immigration reform, indefinite detention, and the use of interrogation techniques amounting to torture. All of these issues were taken to elected officials during hundreds of visits by CAIR national and chapter representatives. CAIR helps mobilize voters nationwide through Muslim lobbying days in state capitals. Muslim youth are mobilized through CAIR-sponsored leadership programs and workshops addressing issues such as bullying. And our nation's political leaders also recognize what CAIR has been able to accomplish and have shown their support.
I'm asking each and every one of you to do what you can, that our faith is averaged on the instant. The temperature of this planet is averaged on the instant. And so it is not a question of what you did before, but what have you done for Islam lately? And so I'm asking you, make a donation, volunteer to help CAIR do its work, because we need an army of volunteers, advocates. But I ask you now, do it now. Support the Council on American Islamic Relations.